All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA show. Not sure yet what I'm going to call this podcast. But what I do want to talk about is for people to kind of truly pay attention to the people that they love, especially during COVID. I was trying to think of a name like pay attention to the ones that are drowning around you, not in the sense of water. But I think a lot of people are going through a lot of things during COVID, especially if you're not living in, say, Florida like I am, or Texas maybe, where it seems to be a lot more open. I've been going back and forth to Chicago a couple times, and it's like living in another country to a certain degree compared to where I'm living in Florida. The lockdown, just the whole environment. I'm not going to get into it, but it's very interesting. I have family now in from Chicago that's staying in Florida for a month, and they're in shock that how wonderful it's been actually since they've been in Florida. And they forgot how wonderful it is, and to have some type of freedom to be able to do a lot of things that they haven't been able to do for almost a year it's going on. So, but what I kind of want to get into this is it's not just COVID. I think we need to really pay attention, and this could go for our parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, close friends, even colleagues. I think a lot of people are going through a lot of hard times. And it's hard enough probably on yourself to maybe go through what you're going through. Some people during COVID I saw are getting more successful or just getting, it's going their way to a certain degree. But on the other end, I see it for a lot of people not going their way. And you really, I think sometimes, a lot of times just looking out for one another, because I don't know what it is. I kind of lost interest in a lot of things, but the one thing I've always loved having an interest in is protecting others. That does not mean by any means I'm a badass. That does not mean I'm going to walk around as a bodyguard or security guard or whatever. But I do feel, and I've said this before in previous podcasts, if you're with me, I think you do feel a level of security around me. I don't know where that comes from, but you can always tell I'm kind of a dude who's got your back. Or I'm going to definitely be there if you need me during certain things. And I'm pretty open. I could care less what you have to tell me. Nothing's going to really, to the most part, shock me or faze me. And I always do. Here's the weakness of mine, though, on one end, is I don't necessarily reach out as much. And when I do reach out, it's more for fun times, because I don't have a lot of... on one end, like if you're down in the dumps and stuff, I'm going to try to pick you up and have fun and go do something. I'm not somebody who's like the guy to cry on my shoulder. That's a weakness of mine. That it's not even a weakness. The sympathy aspect, I'm not very good with that. I'm just not very sympathetic towards a lot of things. But I am the type of guy who's going to want to help you kick it in the ass and kind of turn things around or help you do something like that and help you kind of build confidence and strength and power. That's where I think I come in. And I think we all have strengths and weaknesses when it comes to relationships. But really, back to paying attention to the ones you love, I think a lot of people are drowning to a certain degree. And we don't know how bad it is to a certain degree unless maybe we lived with them or we spent more time with them. Because a lot of times with me, I do see a lot of friends, family members, and all them. But a lot of them will say, man, I'm very depressed because of the situation. I'm very upset. I cry, or I'm bored. I'm miserable. Because I think I'm the type of guy who can talk to them about these things. I think they're afraid to tell other people, especially if they're married, or they just don't want other people to know. With me, I'm kind of like I'm never going to beef you out. You're never going to hear me talk really shit and tell anybody else about somebody else's problem, unless it's kind of a jokingly type thing. But believe me, it's not like something I would ever, they just know if they tell me certain things, I'm cool with it. And I don't, I'm not there to stir any shit. They can trust me. And, if you're somebody out there that sees, or you're starting to just sniff it out that maybe your friends again, or people that you're around, family members, stuff, they're not doing good. It's not just, I think this is what happens to it, a lot of people. When people see other people that are kind of desperate or not doing well, they think immediately, if I kind of get involved with this, they're going to need money from me. Or they're going to need something from me. They're going to want something from me. That may be the case. But again, I don't necessarily always think that's true. I just think a lot of people are looking for someone to reach out to them. Because a lot of people are embarrassed to reach out. It's for me, for the most part, I can do either pretty well. Like if I can say anything because I'm just that way to whoever I want, and I also can listen. But I think a lot of people are afraid to actually tell people how they feel about certain things. And you may even pick up on that and be like, you know what? I know they want to say something. I know there's a problem. Maybe I can help them. Reach out to them. I'm telling you right now, you could probably get on the phone and just have some conversations with a lot of people you love and just touch base with them. Not just a text like, hey, what's going on? That type of thing, or send a funny photo. Really put some time in and say, hey, is everything cool? Now, again, I'm not saying you have to do this with everybody, but I do think a lot of times we know the people that are kind of down in the dumps, or we know what's going on. Now, sometimes we do get blindsided where out of nowhere you'll be like, oh, this person, committed suicide. You're like, how the hell did that happen? Right? That's a different situation. But somebody just may need somebody to listen to them. Somebody may just need, literally, to take them out for lunch. I go out with my buddies a lot of times. And I know, especially during COVID, not a lot of people pick up tabs for as many people as they used to because of finances or whatever. They're always splitting the tab. And I was like, I buy lunch or I'll buy here. And I'm like, when's the last time someone brought you lunch? And they'll roll their eyes. They're like, yeah, it's been a long time. And, something that small, or even going out to dinner, picking up a tab, bringing a bottle of wine, whatever the case may be, kind of just getting back into that rhythm of kind of sharing and just listening and helping. I think it kind of goes back, like what I look at this COVID is like, let's go back in time when things were simpler. That's the one thing I've kind of liked about it, where I've just been reaching out to my friends, and I haven't been able to travel, but I've been able to spend so much more time with them, laugh with them. And really when it comes down to that is one thing that I was missing more than anything in my life was relationships, because I was always on the go. So now I just thought I would do a podcast on this. But if you know somebody out there, or you think you do, again, they may not need your help, but just reaching out, like I said, taking them to breakfast. I don't care if you bring them a damn smoothie, cup of coffee, just saying, hey, what are you doing? Let's meet up. That can mean a lot. It can even mean a lot in your own relationship. I don't care if you're wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the case may be. Sometimes I think we just all get caught up either ignoring a lot of things, or we just don't want to be the one to say, hey, let's just take a break here. Let's sit down and talk about some things. Because I'm not very good at that either. But I do like going out for coffee, so then it kind of flows into that. But I'm telling you, I just think a lot of people, we need to pay attention to one another, maybe a little more, not just communicate maybe on social media, through text, through email. Get back to that personal one-on-one, because, you may be somebody who's alone yourself. And, you just may not kind of be the person that, reach out. It may be your time to do that, is what I should say as well. Again, if you're scared or you're going to be embarrassed or whatever, but listen, you can't always wait for other people to reach out to you. It may be time for you to do that. So I'm going to wrap it up there. If you get a chance, you check out my website, richcelenza.com, and I got a Mastering Self-Confidence program. You could check that out as well. If you get a chance, hit me up, question or comments. Take care.